I didn't know my previous life was complicated. And now when I look back on it, I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's just simple. So what I look forward to is just spontaneous adventure still.
I can't believe I was okay with that. Christine Brown confesses, her voice tinged with disbelief as she reflects on her former life sharing a husband with multiple women. These aren't just casual words. They're the raw realizations of a woman finally seeing her past through unclouded eyes. After decades in polygamy, Christine's journey from Kody Brown's third wife to her new life with David Woolley reveals shocking truths about polygamous relationships that sister wives never showed on camera. The reality check that changed everything. Christine Brown.
I'm a big fan of divorce. I'm just saying, if people are thinking about it, I say go for it.
Now Christine Woolley sits across from her daughter, speaking words that cut through years of conditioning. I want every woman to feel this confident, this loved, this cared for, and this secure. The weight of her statement reveals the dark reality she's finally escaped. Because I know what it's like to not feel like this, she admits, and it's terrible. For more than 25 years, Christine lived a life she believed was divinely ordained, sharing her husband with 3 other women while convincing herself it was normal.
It's been a sort of an unraveling. Just something about the struggles in the family just made me kind of go, is this what real life is like? Is this what real marriage is like?
Now, having experienced a healthy, monogamous relationship with David Woolley, her eyes have opened to the painful truth of what she endured. The contrast couldn't be more stark. While discussing her relationship with David, Christine reveals something profound. The unwavering trust and security she feels with him was completely absent with Kody. When asked if she always feels like David has her back, if she can count on him no matter what, her answer is an immediate yes. She never had that with Kody.
Even though it was, challenging, we had a lot of challenges. It's just moved to a place where there's been a lot of heartbreak. And when you go through that entire thing, you deal with all these different emotions it's not clean.
And that absence of security shaped decades of her life, unraveling years of conditioning. What's happening to Christine mirrors the experience of many women who leave polygamous relationships. It's a roller coaster of unpacking everything she went through, connecting dots between what she was told was normal and what she now recognizes as deeply problematic. The psychological unraveling is both painful and liberating. For so many years, they tried to make it seem like polygamy was normal. She explains, but it was very obvious there was a lack of intimacy in the relationships, the facade they maintained on television.
The process of this entire experience has basically been sort of a up and down, to be fair, a total roller coaster ride. The roller coaster was fun for a long time.
That plural marriage was just another valid lifestyle choice, has crumbled under the weight of her new experiences. The truth Christine now confronts is devastating. Throughout her entire adult life with Kody, she never felt good enough, never felt loved, never felt seen or valued. Perhaps most damaging, she never felt safe. She spent decades with a man and never once felt like he truly had her back. This is a miserable way for any woman to live, trapped in a relationship where your partner doesn't have your best interests at heart.
And just that, just being adventurous, deciding to go do something spontaneous. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've opened up Truly's door and been like, what should we do for fun today?
The show that changed everything. While Sister Wives was meant to normalize polygamy for mainstream America, it ironically became the catalyst for its own destruction. The show inadvertently gave the wives unprecedented access to each other's private relationships with Kody, relationships that had previously been siloed behind closed doors. Their strict rule against showing affection in front of other wives created an artificial barrier that collapsed once cameras documented private moments between Kody and each wife.
Janelle wants to be separate. She's trying to put it all on me. Janelle doesn't want to have a Christmas with Meri and with Robyn and with me. She'd rather have a Christmas with Christine. And so she's making this excuse about the boys.
Suddenly, Christine could see exactly how Kody behaved with Robyn, versus how he treated her. I think the fact that they finally got a window into the marriages and lives that were happening with Kody when he wasn't at their house was a huge wake-up call. Christine reflects, despite their rule against witnessing affection, they were now seeing it broadcast on national television. The cognitive dissonance was impossible to ignore. The subtle signals were unmistakable. When Christine saw how Kody cooed and Googled over Robyn but showed none of that enthusiasm for her,
I've been thinking about this, like all I do, when I'm not working, it's on my mind, it's rolling through, and I'm replaying and rehashing discussions and rehashing my life and how I started this.
The gap became painfully obvious. While they keep saying you're not supposed to compare, how can you not? She questions. If he is over the moon with one and not with the other, ritual. It's obvious. That now seems unthinkable. Perhaps nothing illustrates Christine's awakening more than her reflection on their Valentine's Day traditions. They were a lot of fun. She recalls with forced cheerfulness, we just concentrated on the fun, not the romantic part of it. What she describes next sounds like a bizarre ritual. Kody would gather all his wives together.
That's my interpretation. As I've sat here and watched our episodes, what I've seen from Janelle is that Janelle is punching a button specifically to make me look bad with the family.
Hand each of them flowers in front of the others, and then kiss each woman in turn while the others watched. In retrospect, Christine can't believe she participated in this charade. It's just so weird to think about, she admits with newfound clarity. I was married to a guy who had intimate relationships and kissed other women, and it was fine because it was part of our culture, and it's what we did. The dissonance in her voice is palpable as she concludes, I can't believe I was okay with that. But was she really ever okay with it? Christine's own words reveal the truth. While claiming she wasn't jealous until Robyn arrived, her reaction to learning Kody had kissed Robyn before their wedding tells a different story. Why are you kissing her? You're not even married. The pain she describes feeling was intense, hardly the reaction of someone truly comfortable with sharing. The third wife. Advantage that vanished. Christine's position as third wife gave her certain advantages, at least temporarily. Unlike Meri and Janelle, who experienced the introduction of new wives early in their marriages, Christine enjoyed a long stretch as Kody's newest wife. For over 16 years, she remained the last wife in, which likely gave her more attention and affection from Kody than her sister wives received. This explains why she claims she wasn't jealous until Robyn came along. The harsh reality is that Christine was comfortable in the system only when she benefited from it. As third wife, she had displaced Meri and Janelle in Kody's attention. It was only when she was displaced by Robyn that the arrangement became intolerable. The timing was particularly painful. Robyn entered the family just as Christine was finishing her childbearing years. In a system where women's primary value is tied to reproduction, this was the ultimate replacement. Once Christine could no longer provide children for Kody's kingdom, her purpose diminished in his eyes, and his focus shifted to the younger, still fertile Robyn. The intimacy they never discussed for years. Sister wives danced around the most obvious aspect of polygamy. Viewers knew Kody had children with all four wives, but the show maintained a puritanical avoidance of discussing the intimate aspects of plural marriage. The wives created arbitrary rules about not showing affection in front of each other, a defense mechanism revealing their discomfort with the arrangement. Christine now acknowledges the absurdity. If they were truly comfortable sharing their husband, why couldn't they witness a simple kiss between him and another wife? If you have to hide the affection with other women because you can't bear to see him kiss someone that's not you, you're not okay with it. Christine realizes it's your subconscious screaming at you saying, I'm not okay with this. This isn't okay. This truth had been buried under years of religious indoctrination and cultural pressure when she says, I can't believe I ever was with someone that slept with other women. It's the voice of her authentic self finally breaking through. Kody's failed fatherhood. While Christine discovers what healthy partnership feels like with David, Kody continues making excuses for his failed relationships. Rather than take responsibility, he frames himself as the victim. I'm trying to establish relationships where they're no longer having me represented to them by my ex-wives. The reality Christine now sees clearly is that Kody was barely present as a father. He admits he didn't have relationships with his kids, because when he visited their homes, his interaction was through the wives. Unlike a part-time father after divorce who takes real responsibility during his parenting time, Kody was more like an occasional visitor receiving special treatment. When these polygamous men show up, they have their special cups and plates and special foods. Christine explains, it's not the way the family normally is. It's one day a week. That destroyed a family. The most disturbing revelation is Kody's admission about what drove his behavior. I got my identity from them saying I was awesome and telling my kids I was awesome and having my kids tell me I was awesome. He confesses his entire self-worth was built on being worshipped by his wives and children. Unlike other men who have left polygamy with deep shame and remorse for how they treated their families, Kody shows no genuine accountability. He acknowledges saying hurtful things, claiming he didn't love his wives, that polygamy wasn't worth it, but blames these statements on his wounded ego when they stopped worshiping him. What Christine now understands is that Kody was willing to live in a space where everyone else suffered because he was worshipped. He prioritized his ego over the emotional well-being of his entire family. When they finally stopped feeding his narcissism, he lashed out cruelly. Christine's liberation is just beginning. Christine's journey toward full healing continues. She's still processing the magnitude of what she endured and escaped. Her statement, "I can't believe I was okay with that," reveals she's still reconciling her past with her newfound clarity. The truth is, she was never truly okay with polygamy. She was conditioned to accept it. The proof is in her visceral reactions. Her jealousy when Kody kissed Robyn, her discomfort with public displays of affection between Kody and other wives, and her deep unhappiness throughout much of her marriage. What Christine's story demonstrates is the transformative power of experiencing genuine love after years of emotional neglect. Her relationship with David Woolley hasn't just given her happiness, it's given her a reference point to understand how profoundly dysfunctional her life with Kody was. For women trapped in controlling or emotionally barren relationships, Christine's awakening offers hope. Sometimes you don't realize how abnormal your situation is until you experience something better. Her message is clear. Every woman deserves to feel secure, valued, and genuinely loved, without having to share that love with anyone else. Christine Brown isn't just building a new life. She's reclaiming her entire identity, one painful realization at a time. And in doing so, she's exposing truths about polygamy that sister wives spent years trying to conceal.